cold as a razor blade, as tight as a tourniquet, like the skin on a dying man. I don't want a piece of the world. I want the whole world. I make my own rules because it's much easier that way. Trust me.
What's up, everybody? It's Marcus D'Angelo, and we are back for another episode of The Snake Pit. And, of course, I simply could not do it without the man himself, Hall of Famer, Jake the Snake Roberts. Jake, what's going on, dude?
Well, let's be honest. You wouldn't even try to do it without me.
I mean, what would be the point? Who would want to watch me out here just fucking whacking it on camera?
Right there.
I don't know. Some people, maybe I could do an OnlyFans type thing. Some people would sign up for that. Boy, we're starting early with making it weird, but you know what? We're going to get things back on the rails and then take them back off the rails again because, Jake, today it's our third edition of you watching WrestleCrap. Have you missed it?
I have missed WrestleCrap. I mean, who wouldn't?
It's
just for me to actually laugh at some of the people I know.
What's great is that I know that a lot of the stuff you've never seen before, and so I'm like a kid in a candy store, like, oh, I can't wait to see Jake react to this. So, brother, what happened here was that a lot of people were DMing me saying that they missed it. They wanted us to bring back WrestleCrap, so we're bringing it back. But what's really nice is that they brought a bunch of suggestions, so I didn't even have to come up with this shit on my own. People brought it to me. We're gonna have some fun. So, without any further ado, you ready to check this out?
Let's do it.
All right. Well, the first one is pretty timely because Ric Flair was recently in the news. Let's have a look at what was going on with the Nature Boy during the dying days of WCW.
Still here.
I know. He is disrupting the entire ward.
He thinks it's a high-dollar hotel. What are we going to do about it?
I don't know. I know exactly what I'm going to do about it. Attention, gentlemen. There will be no nitro tonight.
What?
No.
Au contraire.
I'm sorry. I don't want to hear anything else about it. We will no nitro tonight. I'm sorry.
Guess what?
I'm sorry. No.
Here it
No.
comes. Here it comes. Oh, what's that? What's that?
Triple A, you're my man. You the man. Woo! All right. Go around here. Oh no, doctor, you're in the wrong place at the wrong time. This is my hotel. I own it. And you're see, I've been trying to say since I got here. I am the Nature Boy. Woo! All right. Nature. There we are. Look at us. Woo! Yeah, they coming around the mountain as we come. Woo! We'll be coming around. Woo! You'll love it, baby. Nitro.
Okay, so Ric Flair in a mental hospital there at the end of WCW. What'd you think?
Wow. They actually put that on the air?
Oh yeah, and that was like the least of the shitty things they were doing at that time. We're getting into a couple more here, but holy shit, man. The Nature Boy, NWA champion, the traveling champion, as everybody called him, and he's doing that shit.
What the fuck, man?
Yeah.
I've never seen anything worse.
That
was just fucking horrid.
Awful stuff. And that was like, they did a bunch of those.
Why?
I think they just didn't know how to use Rick at the time, and he's like under contract and he's making all this money. So they're like, well, what if we shoot like vignettes of him in like a mental hospital? So they acted like he'd lost his fucking mind. Scott Hall wound up showing up at the same hospital, and it was really weird, bizarre stuff. And clearly inspired by like One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. It was like something that they were trying to do. Which makes me wonder, Jake, do you think you could have sunk in your teeth into something like that? I know you love that movie.
No, no. Are you guys forgetting we're supposed to be wrestling?
Right.
You know, that's the whole idea. This is a wrestling show. So let's show wrestling. I've never been a fan of wasted time, and goddamn, that was wasted fucking time.
Yes, it was. And what's funny, Jake, is during this era, this is the Vince Russo era of WCW, and there were some episodes. I want to say that there was at least one episode where not a single match happened. It was just all storyline, backstage stuff. So you pack an audience into an arena and have maybe one or two matches. Probably one of them's a dark match.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Vince Russo.
That's some Vince Russo for you. Oh, and we're going to have a little more Vince Russo stuff coming up here. And, you know, Jake, after the recent news with Ric Flair, you could probably make an argument that he could do with a little time in that setting. Did you hear about what Nate has been going on, or what's been going on with the Nate recently?
What happened?
Couple things. One thing was that so he had Ric Flair's last match back in 2022, and he just said in an interview that a doctor told him that when he passed out during that match, he actually had a heart attack. That based on like what the doctor was looking at, I don't know, scans or some shit. So there's that. But then also, Nate was recently kicked out of a bar restaurant in Gainesville, Florida, for being disorderly, and a video surfaced of that whole thing, and doesn't paint the Nature Boy in a super flattering light. You didn't hear about any of this?
No.
Jake, as somebody who dealt with some issues yourself along the way, would you give any advice to the Nature Boy?
Time to put it down, man. Time to put it down.
There's a lot more to life than doing the drink all night, stay a little longer thing like he's been doing for 40 years, right?
Yeah, it certainly is.
Well, next up is something that happened in the WWF, and it's actually shortly after you joined the creative team that this is going to happen in 1996. Coincidence? Let's find out.
Think that all these guys leaving the WWF was an accident? Hell no, it's not. You think all these guys coming here was an accident? Absolutely not. I've been very busy. And right now, I want to bring back one of your favorites. He's the bad guy, Razor Ramon. Wait a second. Oh, boy. Here comes Big Daddy Clue right now. I don't know about that.
You call him whatever you like. That's not Kevin Nash.
That is a man. This is an unbelievable. Oh, Savio Vega all the way out to the front. Referee's going for the belt.
The winner of this bout is a result of a disqualification. Savio Vega.
And now, just like we saw it in your house mind games, Razor Ramon and Diesel are looking like they're ready to do a number on Savio Vega.
Why are you calling them Razor Ramon and Diesel?
It's the names I'm given, Mr. Monsoon. I don't know what to do. Why are you allowing this official to let this match get out of hand? I suggest you do something about this, because Savio is getting ready to feel the Razor's edge. Oh, my, the Razor's edge. Maybe you can find them. They can afford to pay him.
So, Jake, now's your chance. Why'd you book that shitty angle?
I did not book that shit. That was all Vince. Why throw light on the problem, you know? All you're doing is making people remember them and make them want to watch them. So they're going to flip the channel to see where they're really at.
Yep.
Yeah, that was it. That was just stupid. Plain ass stupid. That was all Vince.
Man, you and I talked not too long ago here on the show about how established characters in wrestling, like The Undertaker, will likely and probably should eventually be used again down the road. Do you think it could have worked with better execution here with Scott Hall and Kevin Nash?
No. Much too soon.
Yeah.
Much too soon. It's still too soon.
Right. 25 years later, if they tried to bring back Razor Ramon and Diesel, I think people would spit it right up.
Yeah.
Yeah. just a bad idea. And you've got a couple guys who are like big, good-looking dudes. You've got Glenn Jacobs, and we all know what he's going to go on to do. But we've never talked about the fake razor, Rick Bogner. Did you know the guy at all?
No, I didn't.
I mean, huge guy. You saw him there next to Glenn Jacobs, who's whatever 6'8", 6'9", and he's a little bit bigger. It looked like. So it's a guy like that with that look. I feel like you just could have used him way better.
Yeah. He did this for a few weeks, never to be seen again.
That was it. Well, speaking of shitty angles, a Jake Watch's WrestleCrap episode just wouldn't be complete without some of Vince McMahon's bathroom humor. You didn't have to be behind the scenes in WWE to know that this was just an idea straight from the chairman. The Big Show would stop a delivery boy from a Mexican restaurant who was trying to bring food to Eddie Guerrero, and Show would spit in one burrito and then eat the rest of them before going to the ring. He would rush out of the ring midway through the match and get counted out. Let's see what happened to the Big Show next.
Chihuahua, man. We don't need that TV. Oh, man. Hey, Big Show. Big Show, leave me alone. Oh, man, I'm sorry, man, to disturb you while you're in the commode. I said, man, it smells like something crawled up inside of you and died, man. Hijo. Woo, man. Oh, man, I guess that's what happened, Joe. What are you talking about? Hey, man, I'm talking about when you put me out twice. You really think that you can bump me out twice, man? And get away with it? Daddy, I didn't do anything. I said, the reason you're there is because I did this. That's right, man. That's right. It was my cousin Jose you just met right now. And ate the burrito with him. Oh, no.
All right. Well, we got the gist of it. A classic wrestling angle, right, Jake?
Yeah. Yeah. God, I guess I'm getting old.
When I catch you at a loss for words, I know I nailed it.
Yeah. It's the shits.
One way to put it.
Yeah.
I just love how you've got two Hall of Fame talents, and a personal issue is not enough. Vince is like, what if we make one of them shit themselves?
That'll be a great match time. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Oh, people will buy that pay-per-view. The one guy made the other guy shit himself.
They'll think it's funny. The Giant shitting himself. Let's take the kids. Go watch the Giant shit.
I mean, that very easily could have just become his gimmick. He's the guy who just shits himself.
Yeah, there you go. You go.
See, yeah, they should have had me in the creative room. I really could have helped out during that period. Jake,
yeah.
you're a pro's pro, and you would run the play that got called back when you were in the WWF. What's your reaction if you're asked to do something like that during your run?
I'm not doing it.
There's no way you could get it over?
No, I'm not trying.
Yeah, seems like probably a waste of time. And speaking of bathroom humor, this is one I never really found funny at the time, but after getting Jim's take on it, I was a little less pissy about the whole thing. And I remember watching this as a kid and thinking, what the fuck are they doing with Jim Duggan? Let's see what you think about this creative for Hacksaw in WCW back in 1999.
I'm going to point out to you that I've been wrestling for 20 years, and I have probably more fan support than a lot of these guys out there that are doing the drop kicks. You know, this past year has been extremely hard for me and my family. I was diagnosed with cancer a year ago in September, and with the grace of the Lord, they were able to go in and remove my kidney. So I think if you give me the opportunity, I can have a bigger effect on professional wrestling in the few years that I have left than I've had in the 20 years prior to it. Because I know I've got the fan support, I know I've got the heart, and by God, I know I've got the desire.
You're talking about an opportunity.
Yes, sir.
An opportunity.
That's all I want.
You deserve an opportunity.
Yes, sir.
Well, first of all, let me get out my handkerchief because my heart bleeds for you. Second of all, whether you have 1, 2, 3, 4 kidneys, what does that have to do with my ratings? It's all about ratings. As far as opportunity, I'll think about it. Next.
Thanks. I can't believe it. Clean the Power to Bees toilet. Clean the Power to Bees toilet. Well, I'll clean the Power to Bees toilet. I'll clean the best pink toilet in the country right here, this toilet.
Okay, they got Mid-South legend, one of the most badass dudes ever in Mid-South, the guy who made a huge name in the WWF, and they got him cleaning a toilet, Jake.
Some sick fuckers out there, man, that just want to bring you down, you know?
Yep.
Let's think about that for a moment. That does nothing to promote wrestling. It does nothing to promote Jim Duggan. All you're doing is laughing at him.
Mm-hmm.
He's cleaning a shitter. What the fuck, man? What does that have to do with anything?
Has Jim ever talked to you about this whole period of time?
Yeah.
What has he said to you about it?
He's not very happy about it, bro.
Hard to be, and they kind of...
They wound up, making him go to Canada and, denounce the USA. That's just ignorance. You're trying to destroy a character, and guess what? It didn't fucking work.
Nope.
Because the people didn't buy it.
And Jim still got over. Even when he was the janitor, they had him working on WCW Saturday Night. They weren't even featuring him on Nitro. He got over so strong that they said, okay, we've got to do something with him. And their idea was, what if we turn him heel and make him a Canada guy? Like, come on, guys.
That's just desperate people doing desperate. They were trying to make him quit.
Yep.
That's what they were trying to do. He had a nice contract, and they were trying to make him quit. Didn't work.
Nope. Jim is a pro's pro, and he was like, yeah, I'll do whatever you say. I'll be the highest paid job guy you guys have ever had here. And he did what he was told, and he collected his paychecks. Good for Jim.
Yeah. Damn straight.
Well, next up, we've got another guy that you knew well during the Mid-South days, John Nord, except now he's on the biggest stage in wrestling in the WWF, and he's got a new character. So let's have a look at what was going on with John during this period of time.
To show you how to make a very successful party where everybody be very, very happy. That's right, happy. Step 1.
Stamps! Party! Who to invite? That ain't how you get guests! This is how you get guests! Hush! 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 You wanna come to a party?
No, I don't even know you.
Great! Then you'll come?
Hey. Whoa!
This is how you get your guests! Hush!
Whoa!
Hush! Hush!
Wow! I got this RSVP. Well, let me tell you, step number 2, boy sound and girl sound number 2.
The Berserker recommends these. You gotta keep them guests entertained. Everybody's gotta have a lot of fun with lots of little gimmicks and stuff like these right here. Yeah, that's better. Now they're working. Everybody can have lots of fun with these. These are real good. They don't taste bad either. So let's have let's have a lot of fun.
Okay. So your old tag team partner there, Jake, what'd you think?
Oh my God. Oh. I've never seen that.
No?
No. Wow. That's the kiss of death, brother.
How do you come back?
You don't. You don't. People feel sorry for an idiot.
Like, when you first saw John Nord, it's this huge, impressive guy, and you saw him and you were like, boy, there's money in that guy, and you wanted to be his tag team partner. Yeah. Being a fucking crazy Viking might not be exactly what you were picturing.
No, not at all. No,
here's what gets me, Jake. How does a guy like Vince, with his track record of like creating stars, how does he look at somebody like John Nord with his size and his look and his charisma and just completely miss the mark on this guy?
I have no idea. What a waste of talent.
How big do you think John Nord could have been in the WWF if he had been treated properly?
He could have been a superstar.
Right?
Yeah, for sure.
Like the body, the size. It's like, look, I know that he wasn't an in-ring technician or anything like that, but neither was the Ultimate Warrior. And from what I've heard, John was a much nicer human being than the Warrior.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Well, next up is another guy that I believe you have a relationship with, but we can talk about it after the clip. It's a celebrity that would win a title, which was once one of the most coveted belts in all of wrestling. Let's have a look at this one.
Clothesline, quick spirit from Page, but he digs down deep, Mike, and Brain is bent, and my God, here comes David Arquette. What's left of him? He is really dragging himself out. I tell you, DDP, right now, I know he's thinking about Jarrett and about Bishop, but he's got his wife on his mind full time. That time, Kimberly gets hit by DDP. Who can throw the pinball here? Spear by Arquette. Oh, Jarrett's got the belt. Kimberly went down in a heap. There's no referee, guys. There's a referee. He's over towards Arquette. 1, 2, 3. What is... Did David Arquette just... What's going on here? David Arquette won the world title.
Okay, Jake, your immediate thoughts on David Arquette becoming WCW champion?
Doesn't get much worse. You know, this was a weird time for wrestling, man. Everybody was trying everything, trying to hold on to the ratings board and ratings war. And people were desperate, man. And for them to go out and put the belt on somebody that's not even involved in wrestling, it is a slap in the face to every piece of talent that's ever been in the ring.
Yep.
That's the biggest thing. You've just destroyed the morale of everybody in that locker room. Absolutely.
And there's a lot of old timers, territory guys that are on the roster. And for fan, listener perspective, that's the former NWA title. So that was the belt that was held by Terry Funk, Harley Race, Jack Briscoe, Ric Flair, so many others. And now fucking David Arquette got it.
Yeah. That's brilliant.
Jake, were you watching it at this time?
No, thank God.
Were you watching the WWF or any wrestling?
I wasn't watching anything at the time.
I know that you were still out making doing the indies and stuff like that during this period of time. So it's like probably just watching it just wasn't even on your radar.
No, it wasn't.
Do you know David Arquette personally?
No, I don't.
Oh, okay. I thought for sure that you had met him through Dallas or something like that.
No, never have. I heard he was a nice guy, but that has nothing to do with it.
Right. It's a celebrity in that kind of position. Like, somebody like Andy Kaufman is, I think, the exception to the rule, where it's like he was coming in and he just got his ass beat and he was calling himself the women's champion and stuff like that. But having a skinny little actor who, like, most of the guys in the audience probably feel like they could beat the shit out of, win the title. Oh, man, not good business.
No, it's not. They paid for it.
They did. About a year later, they were out of business.
Yep.
David Arquette is a wrestler now. What do you think about him being involved in the business, doing like deathmatch shit?
Oh, well, he's a champ, man.
And not a lot of guys get to say that out there doing deathmatch scenes in the fucking bingo halls that, hey, I used to be WCW champion.
Yeah, there you go, man. His career's really taken off.
Well, Jake, can you think about the weirdest match stipulation you've heard of when it comes to something being on a pole?
Yeah. Coal miner's glove.
That's That's a pretty bad one. I think that this next clip might make you think it's not the necessarily the worst, though. Let's have a look. Okay, got to do a voiceover for this one because DDP's theme is playing very loudly in the background of this. We don't need to get flagged. But, all right, we've got a sign that says Canyon equals ratings here from the audience at New Blood Rising. The fans are pumped up. Not really sure why. This era of WCW is awful. Some females in the crowd. Camera make sure to linger on them for a while. And here we go. Judy Bagwell, not on a pole, but on a forklift coming out with Canyon dressed as DDP driving it. So it feels like a fever dream, but here we are, folks. Judy Bagwell is clinging onto that thing. Can't tell Canyon to slow it down. He's wearing a hard hat. Oh my gosh, WCW in this era is very fucked up. There's a juggalo in the crowd. Positively Canyon. Just putting on the e-brake there, and Judy Bagwell is going up on the forklift. Again, not a pull. She's up, 12 feet in the air. Nothing too awful. And here we go. Canyon is going into the ring. Takes a bow. We're off to the races. That coal miner's glove not looking so bad now, is it?
Yeah, you're right. So she has to be Canyon's valet.
That was the stipulation, is if Canyon beats Buff Bagwell, then Buff Bagwell's legitimate shoot mother, that was his mom, Judy Bagwell, is now Canyon's valet.
I don't get it.
Nobody did. She wasn't even on a pole.
No.
Oh, man. Just kind of shitting on the business at that point.
So glad I missed these years.
Yeah, you weren't missing much.
No.
Back in the day, there were a lot of people hung above the ring in cages and whatnot. You were actually in one with Dick Slater with Dark Journey in a cage.
Right.
Do you think, would you say that this is kind of a comparable angle?
No.
Right. I mean, is it less silly than somebody in a cage? I don't know. I'm asking, like, what do you think?
I think it's shit.
Did you think having somebody suspended above the ring in a cage was shitty too?
Yeah.
It's kind of like, what's the point? Yeah, like why do they have to be up there?
Yeah, I don't like it.
Well, if you had to choose between working a match where your opponent's mom is on a pole or do a death match, Jake, which one are you picking? Have to choose.
Let's do the death match.
You take like a light tube and shit?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Thing but fucking have somebody's mother be my valet. It'd be different if she had to like clean his toilets or something,
Sure.
But to be a valet, I don't get it.
Boy, they were really asking you to suspend your disbelief back there. And then, to top off all the weirdness here, Jake, Chris Canyon is working a gimmick, as you saw, where he's just pretending to be DDP. And Chris was an unbelievable, skilled worker, and that's the best they could come up with for him. Did you know Chris Canyon at all?
I met him a few times.
What do you think of Chris?
He was a great piece of talent.
Like, big guy, good look, and he was like inventing a lot of moves that we now see being used today on like AEW and WWE. Like, just such a skilled guy, and they're like, hey, I know, here's what we'll do with him: just dress him up like DDP.
Yeah, let's do something really far out.
Fucking idiots, man. And again, this company's out of business in like a year, and it's like, gee, I wonder why. A lot of people blame the Time Warner merger, but the fact of the matter is, like, this creative was just dog shit.
It was horrible.
Next up, and our last one, we've got a gimmick that you were not in the WWF for, and I'm not even sure if you're familiar with it. Let's have a look at our final clip this week for WrestleCrap.
Welcome back, everyone, to welcome back. What is this? Don't be afraid. Sit back down, McMahon. What is this? What's it look like? It looks like a half man, half beast. $64,000 question is answered, ladies and gentlemen. Half man, half beast. What is a half man, half beast? What do you call him? Mantaur? Mantaur, that's right.
Baltimore, Maryland. Weighing 214 pounds.
Obviously, this individual attempting to intimidate his opponent. Walter Slow? Is that his name, Slow? Well, that's how it's spelled, S-L-O-W. A number of unusual names and unusual looking athletes here in this Mantaur. Speaking of unusual looking, Mantaur trying to wait a minute. Whoa. He'll gore you. Watch it. Mantaur entering the WWF Royal Rumble. And it's all well and good to come out and intimidate an opponent like this. But can you get the job done in the wrestling ring? What do you mean intimidation? Ooh, that's pretty intimidating right there, isn't it? That half beast head is just an extension of his personality. That's all it is. I have no doubt. He's not trying to intimidate anybody.
Jake, Mantaur, what'd you think?
Man fart.
Probably a better description.
Yeah, man. I'm so glad I missed these. Did he become world champion?
I don't see why he didn't. You know, the kid had all of it, right? He had a big cow head that he came out with.
Yeah. He should have had the opportunity to at least be intercontinental or even the junior heavyweight.
What I like too is that they're like, I don't know what to do about music for him. What about just fucking cows mooing at each other? How about that?
Good.
I mean, imagine paying for wrestling training. You work your way up, you're paying your dues, you finally get to the biggest stage in all of wrestling, and they just pitch you some shit like that.
Yeah. It's Vince is doing these things for his own entertainment.
You really think that, like, and that's it's something, and this is a legitimate question. Like, Vince is paying these people, he's putting a lot of his own money on the line, and it is his money. The company's not publicly traded at the time, and you think he's just like farting around to amuse himself?
Yeah, absolutely.
There's something wrong with that guy.
Don't we know that?
If you didn't know, you found out here in 2024. Yeah, you know, Jake, everywhere you went, you got over with the audience, and it didn't really seem to matter what kind of creative you were given. If you had been given Mantaur, could you have gotten it over?
Yeah.
What would you do to get it over, Jake?
I'd take a big cow shit and I'd scoop it up and throw it.
Into the audience or your opponent?
No, my opponent. Once his face is covered in cow shit, I'd gore him.
I mean, honestly, it's pretty entertaining shit, if you will.
Yeah, but boom.
And so it's like Razor Ramon with a toothpick at the start of the match. Instead of throwing the toothpick, you just take a shit and scoop it up.
Just drop a shit.
Man, see that, folks? That's why he's the master of psychology. He would have gotten Mantaur over. And boy, this podcast was over with me. It always tickles me to get to see you react to this stuff, man. And what do you think? You want to do more WrestleCrap in the future?
Oh my God. Yeah, but let's wait a while.
Yeah, I think we both need a mental cleanse after that for a couple months, and then we'll return to it.
Couple months.
Okay, boys and girls, if you're looking to attract that 25 to 54-year-old male demographic to your product or service, you've got to get to advertisewithsnake.com. Jake is a household name still to this day, still over like Rover, and you can get him to put over your stuff to the exact audience you're targeting. You want some proof that it works? Just listen to the show, bud. We routinely advertise for the same businesses because they know that what we do here on the Snake Pit works. Head over to advertisewithsnake.com and make Jake the Snake Roberts your tag team partner. JakeTheSnakeShop.com is your destination for rare signed collectibles straight from the man himself. We're talking about figures, shirts, 8x10s, and so much more. If you're a collector, this website is like heaven for you, especially a Jake collector. Man, there's some cool stuff on there, some one-of-a-kind, unique stuff that you seriously need to add to your collection. Go right now to JakeTheSnakeShop.com. Add a new centerpiece to your wrestling collection. Get over to cameo.com/Jake Snake for a personal message from the Hall of Famer himself. Here's a review from Jack. Jake, you really blew our minds in a good way. Thanks so much for taking the time and making this so candid and so personal. If you're a lifelong fan, you've got to get a cameo from Jake. Again, it's cameo.com/Jake Snake. Go and get yours right now, or get it as a great gift. Father's Day is coming up really, really fast, and you don't want to be left flat-footed holding a tie or some cologne or some other crap that your dad doesn't want. Get your dad something really cool, really unique from cameo.com/Jake Snake. Check us out on YouTube. It's youtube.com/@SnakePitPod. We've got some short clips from the show. We've got highlights. We've got exclusive episodes, and we're bringing more. We also recently did a giveaway for subscribers there, and we're going to continue to do those occasionally. So don't miss out. Like, subscribe, and hit that notifications bell there right now. Again, it's youtube.com/@SnakePitPod. Also, if you've enjoyed our podcast, do us a big favor. Like, subscribe, and leave us a 5-star review on whatever podcast app you're using. Man, that kind of stuff goes a really long way for Jake and I, and we would truly appreciate your support here on the show. You can catch Jake on X at JakeSnakeDDT, on Instagram at JakeTheSnakeDDT, and on Facebook at Real Jake the Snake. You can follow me at Marcus P. D'Angelo on X, and you can follow the podcast at Snake Pit Pod on all social media platforms. Okay, another episode of Jake Watches WrestleCrap is in the books. Thank you guys for reaching out with your suggestions. And by the way, keep bringing your suggestions. Hit me up in my DMs. Again, it's Marcus P. D'Angelo on X. I always love to hear from you guys and hear what you'd like to hear from Jake. And I don't know, maybe next time we do this, we should do it live with an audience. I'm game for just about anything when it comes to this. I do know that I will be seeing you guys next week, though, right here on The Snake Pit.